Well, good morning to both Rosie and Sienna. It's nice to have you with us this morning.
Good morning.
And Sienna, I'm so grateful to you for originally the title of this podcast was Power Couples in Real Estate, but Power Partners. I love that. That's so much better. And that's what we have this morning. We have Rosie and Sienna Wagner from Realty One, but also very excited to announce the Wagner Real Estate Group.
Yes.
So the dynamic duo.
Absolutely.
So we have two sisters here together.
Yes,
okay,
I'm
the older sister.
It's the older sister. I think what we want to do, the whole focus of a podcast, really to be to get to know you better, to get to know what clients are best to refer to you, and what you do that's maybe a little different in your communities. Yeah. And so let's get to know you a little bit better. Let's talk to your older sister first, Rosie. Rosie, how did you get started in real estate? And then maybe Sienna, you can tag in there too to tell us about your start.
Well, I think like a lot of people, it kind of happens by chance, but my journey started 35 years ago. I started at a real estate office, front desk, and then the rest is history, because everything in between was everything in between. I actually have 35 years of industry experience, so not just selling real estate, but title, escrow, hard money lender, loans, small businesses. So I've done the gamut of real estate, and now for the last 20 years, been staying in the residential arena, and then specializing a lot in divorce sales, helping couples navigate that change when it's time to either keep a house or when they have to sell it or move on and buy something new. But it's something that's dear to me. I know sure. I've had a lot of friends that have gone through that situation. Yeah. So it's really important that they work with somebody who understands what that's like and that could guide them. And it's not easy, no. So you want somebody.
It's a stressful time.
Yeah, and my job's to make it less stressful. So that's what I want to do for them. So that's my passion. And
that's what they need, the guidance. And I love what you said. It's passion, but part of that word is compassion.
Absolutely.
Passion is in that word,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
And that's what as knowing you for as many years as I've known you, I see that. I see the compassion that you show for people in general, and what an excellent way to help others. And how about you, Sienna? How did you get into the business?
Building off of that, ever since I was little, I've watched her work in this business, and I've really looked up to the way that she seeks to help people, and I wanted to do a career where I could also help people. So ever since I was young, I've helped her with open houses, passing out flyers, putting up open house signs, all of that. And I've always thought it was so fun. So in high school, I began my education, started taking my courses, and then I got my license 2 years ago. And then this past year, we began the Wagner Real Estate Group together as a team. And it's been wonderful so far, having a mentor who's so experienced and just kind and intelligent and willing to help me and just take me under her wing. It's been wonderful. So it's going great so far.
Oh, that's exciting. And I remember the days of our door knocking out with Rosie, and she'd tell me about you, and I got my kids out helping me, and I'm training them, and we'll see if they take this career too, and you obviously have, and I have to say, by way of a compliment, the way that you deal with people, the way that you speak, your social media, it reflects well your mom's sister. We can edit that. But we can see the value of having a good mentor.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
One thing that I was talking with another gentleman this morning from Texas, and we got talking a little bit about mentorship. And when it comes to mentorship, I don't know if this has been your experience, but sometimes we're working with colleagues, we come into a business and we're all trying to figure it out. And every once in a while we get that colleague that's kind of holding back information, doesn't want to share too much because, God forbid, you become more successful than them, right?
Yeah.
I don't see that here at all.
Oh, no.
Tell me a little bit about that.
I hope she supersedes me in every single way. And I see that for her. She's driven, she's smart, beautiful.
Thank you.
But the thing about Sienna is she also sees opportunity, and tries to navigate on a way to make it better, and it's never a selfish thing. What can I do for me? Like we were talking about helping others. She's always looking for a way. How can I get others involved? What can I do? How can I make this opportunity serve other people? And Sienna volunteers at her church. She's been in Girl Scouts when she was younger. She just has that serving heart. And so, I don't know. I think it's something that is going to help her, in the future, a long time. And there's never any competition. We're partners, and just like you said, it's a partnership. I don't do anything without her. We work as a team, and if I'm not available, she's available, vice versa. But usually you'll see us together because we enjoy just doing everything together, and that's the way she's going to learn. And she's had the opportunity to meet a lot of great people, during this last year. So it's been really wonderful, and just to see her blossom, and I don't know, just it's in her element. She's just in her element.
You can tell.
Yeah. The only reason that I am that way, though, is because of you. Even in the industry now, obviously she spends a good amount of her time teaching me, but no matter where we are, she's always helping other people. If they have questions and she has knowledge on it, she's constantly teaching people how to use social media technology, ways that they can expand their business. And it's even other realtors. So she is so anti-competition that she will help anybody. And it inspires me, and that is why I am the way I am. So it's really beautiful to just learn from her in that way, to be selfless and to not hold on to that competition aspect, and to know that there will be enough business for everybody, and that helping people will come back around.
Yeah, that's so well said by both of you. And power partners, you think about the word partner, it's not an island. There's no I, it's all we, and we can help. We can do this together.
Yes.
And I think about with my wife, Jinmei, I get in trouble when I try to go out on my own. I usually don't make a good decision that way, right? And we're not talking just, did I wear the right pair of color socks today? But big decisions, especially when it comes to helping other people. And so what you highlighted to me really resonates with me. It's a partnership. And it shows a deep level of respect that you have, not just because of your family relationship. That carries right over into your business.
Yeah.
And that's really refreshing to see.
Absolutely.
Love it. So tell us a little bit about, you mentioned residential, that's your focus. You want to share a little bit about your communities, what areas, obviously you're licensed in the state of California, but tell us a little bit about the communities you serve.
Yeah, definitely. Well, obviously we're licensed in California, and we do most of our business in Orange County. And I like to say, from the beach to where we live, which is in Foothill Ranch, but Foothill Ranch is really close to us. Both my kids were born and raised in Foothill Ranch, so there's a great sense of community for us right there. We've met a lot of terrific families throughout the years, both of them having all their friends in that community, their life groups in that community. Everything's local to where we live. And so I've always said to people, Foothill is a small town. And it has that small town feel. So you'll walk out and a lot of the people, especially if you've gone to school in the neighborhood, you'll see them at the shopping centers. The one thing that's really nice is when you go to the parks, there is a local church actually in Foothill, and a lot of communities don't have their own little private church, but we have our own little church there. But what's nice is that you get to know people, and people are there for each other. There's a lot of communities that have their neighborhood watch. Everybody's so nice. Everybody's so involved in wanting to make sure that the community's safe, that if anybody needs any help, and you hear these good stories, somebody needs something or somebody's sick and people are there for you. We're close, and part of Lake Forest, which is really nice, and Mission Viejo is right around the corner, but they are bigger communities. Everybody doesn't know everybody. And I'm not saying Foothill, everybody knows everybody, but for the most part, you will know a lot of people in Foothill because it's two pockets, of an area. For those people who aren't familiar with Foothill Ranch, there's two areas where you could come in. One's through Bake and one's through Alton. So we have these two bubbles, that are Foothill Ranch. And in between, we have Whiting Ranch. And so even there, you get to meet a lot of people that like to go hiking, biking, walking. up on those trails.
My wife was just there yesterday.
Yeah,
It's beautiful. Yeah.
it's in your backyard. You know, Whiting Ranch, and to have the Cleveland National Forest right in your backyard, it's really amazing. But Foothill is really what's close to us.
Yeah.
But, you know, we don't limit ourselves, obviously, to work just in that community. And Sienna herself, you know, she's a beach girl. So she wants to dominate the beach area out there. But that's something that she loves.
We love all the coastal properties for sure.
Oh,
Beautiful.
That's amazing. Well, I know I'm very familiar with Foothill Ranch too, being from Lake Forest, and it's just grown immensely up there.
Yeah.
Going up Alton, Baker Ranch, and those different communities up there, and then up where you folks are at too. What are you finding as far as, are people still moving in there? Are they looking to move out? And what's the activity do you notice?
I'm going to say
Sure.
both. We have a lot of movement. There's still a lot of transactions going on, and I know people think people aren't moving, people aren't selling, people aren't buying, but they are.
They are.
And as a lender, transactions are happening. So in Baker Ranch, there's been a lot of movement. I don't see a lot of people moving out of the area too much. That maybe they're moving up or moving Irvine or something like that. But we also have the Meadows, which is the new development right across the shopping center from the Home Depot, and that whole community. A lot of those places were bought and nobody lived in them. So I'm seeing a lot of turnover right now in those communities. So people looking to buy, there's places available in the Meadows right now.
We have inventory.
Yeah, we have inventory in the Meadows. Up the street, Portola, there's a lot of inventory coming up on the market right there in Portola too. There's been a lot of new development, and it's a beautiful community. And then in Foothill Ranch, I do see people moving out of state from Foothill Ranch. I've had some of my clients, they've moved out of the area, maybe to single level home, downsizing. A lot of people in our, in our friend group, in our community, their kids have finished college, so now they're empty nesters, and so they're
downsizing.
Yeah. So I've been seeing that a lot, but I have been seeing a lot of people move out of state. And I think the top states that I see people moving to is either Tennessee, Florida, and Texas.
Texas,
And I haven't seen anybody come back yet. But we're here, if they decide to come back. But that's kind of what we're looking at. It's inventory's been increasing too in Foothill a little bit. There's a lot of condos for sale that I've noticed too. And a lot of the bigger homes that maybe weren't on the market in the last couple of years, they're coming up on the market. There's been some really big sales in Foothill Ranch.
Oh yeah.
So it's doing really well.
Oh, that's great to hear.
And I would tell anybody, if you want a great community with a local school, we have an elementary school right in our community that you could walk to.
And a preschool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And we have our community pool. There's a lot in our neighborhood. It's not as big as Baker Ranch. We don't have all that, but again, depends what you're looking for. I think Foothill Ranch is a beautiful community.
Me too.
Yeah.
I love Foothill. Like she said, I was born and raised there, so I've lived there 21 years, my whole life, and I wouldn't want to move. I really do enjoy it.
Yeah, and you share that passion with others, because when they can see how much you love that area, they know you're invested in that area as well. It's like, come be our neighbors.
Absolutely.
You're picking your neighbors, right?
Absolutely.
So here's a question. If someone was to ask you, and I get this question all the time, is now a good time to buy? Should I buy now? The rates are so high. Should I buy now? How do you answer those types of questions?
I'm going to toss this one to Sienna.
Sure.
I mean, I think it has to make sense for you. Are you happy with where you are right now? If where you're living is not making you happy, then I think absolutely there's somewhere else that we can make work for you. I just went to a economic housing report, and they are predicting that rates are going to come down in the future. But at the end of the day, if the price and the payments are what you can handle, then if the rates go down in the future, you can always refinance. So I think there's a ton of options for everybody. As you would know, there's always a ton of financing options. So it just has to make sense for the family. But I think if that's what you need in your life and you need a change and you need relocation or you're downsizing, I think it's always a great time to buy.
You know, what you said is so powerful because, you know, sometimes people think in our industry, oh yeah, they always tell us to do it because they're going to benefit from it,
Yeah.
right? And when people ask me, John, is it a good time to buy? Or when is the best time to buy? I say, when you're ready,
Yeah.
right? And it goes back to your point. If you're not satisfied where you're at and you're financially capable and ready,
Yeah.
then it could be the right time to buy.
Yeah.
We can refinance you later, but if that's the house that
Exactly.
fits your needs in your school district with wonderful community,
Yeah.
now's the time
That's
to buy
your
it.
opportunity. You might not get another chance.
Because what's going to happen when the feds even lower the rate just a little bit?
Yeah.
What's going to happen to all those people that are sitting on the fence right now saying, oh, rates are too high, I'm not going to buy?
Exactly.
They're going to jump into the market,
Yeah.
which then, as we know, creates a lot more offers, a lot
lot of
more
competition.
over-askings,
Over
right?
asking, and we've seen that.
More
We've seen
competition.
that
Yeah.
time and time again. And you know, just going off what Sienna said, it has to make sense financially. It has to make sense. I would never want to put somebody in a house that's going to
Yes.
overextend themselves and have to help them sell a few years down the road because now it doesn't make sense financially.
right.
And you have to be comfortable with your payment. I mean, we saw when the market crashed, so many people lost their homes because they went in barely being able to afford it, maybe with an adjustable or something like
Yes.
that.
Ooh.
And once they adjusted and the market changed, and I say it doesn't even matter that your property value went down. If you're not going anywhere, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't know why people were getting so worried, like my property lost value, you know, 100,000 or whatever. You're not going anywhere. Eventually it'll come up,
Yeah.
you know, kind of like the stock market does. Real estate's a little more predictable.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, I was telling people it doesn't matter. You're not going anywhere. Enjoy your home for what it is. Later, it'll recover. And if you need to change anything with your finances or to refinance, you can. I said that's always an option later.
Yeah.
But you know, I understand people also lost their jobs and stuff like that. But even then, there's so many ways to navigate through that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've helped a lot of families, you know, during those times when it was difficult, either figure out a way they could refinance, do some creative financing, and if they had to do a short sale to not ding their credit, we did something like that too.
Yeah.
You know, anything to try to avoid foreclosure. And even when I was talking about when people go through divorce, you don't always have to sell.
That's right.
You know, I'm not looking just to sell your home. I'm there to help you, guide you, give you information, give you direction, give you resources. We have a lot of resources with financial planners,
Yeah.
lenders, contractors, whatever it takes to help you navigate through that and maybe help you stay in your house. And even like Sienna said, things come around. It's not about the money. You know, it's gonna come around. Everything that you do will be paid back to you in some way. And so we never worry about that, you know.
Yeah, that's really well said. So shifting gears just a little bit, talking about the mindset. How important is mindset to both of you being in this industry of helping other people as realtors? What kind of a mindset do you have to be as successful as possible?
I love this question. I love anything relating to mindset and just outlook, and I think it's so important to have your mind in the right place before you do anything. So for us, we're always helping encourage each other, helping each other stay positive, making sure that even though there are obstacles and difficult things we come about, we do not focus on them. We try to find the positive in everything, and just it's so nice having another person, because I think sometimes on your own you can get stuck in your thoughts, but to have someone there to snap you out of it and remind you why we do what we do, and to stay on track and to stay focusing on all of the good things of life and good things of the business and all of that, it's so helpful. Absolutely.
And just to add to that, I am so happy and so proud of having Sienna on this group and this team, because I could see that happening. Sometimes, you know, when the market changes and stuff, your motivation could change, but you have to stay positive. You know, there's always going to be change. Life is full of change. And she keeps me going too. You know, she motivates me, and she's really great about taking care of her health and her mind and just being positive. And she's done some really great videos, about keeping a positive mind and being grounded and taking care of yourself. And so all that helps me. And so I couldn't be more proud, having a partner that has that kind of motivation to help keep me motivated. And I hope I do the same for her.
Absolutely, you do, yes.
Yeah, that's so good. And, you've heard of the phrase, be intentional. We try to wake up intentional every single day. Know your why, control your controllables, all those little buzzwords that are floating out there. But the reality is, personally, if I don't apply those things that I'm hearing, I'm nourishing my mind every day with something, whether it's a podcast or something that could affect my mind.
Yeah.
But I have to do something with it. If I don't put it into practice or go execute what I just learned,
Exactly.
It goes right through this side of my mind and right out
Exactly.
the other side.
Hearing things is great and learning things is great, but like you're saying, unless you're taking the action, you're not applying it to your life. There's a saying that I like, it's you are what you do, not what you say you'll do.
Ooh.
Because we love to talk about things and say, we're going to do this, going to do that, but unless we're actually taking the action, there's nothing behind those words.
Yeah, that's powerful, Sienna. Thank you for mentioning that. One last question. And this is for the benefit of all those that will listen to this wonderful podcast, is we've been through a pandemic. It's still out there. There's people that are still getting sick from it, but at least we're learning from it. Challenging financial times. They've been here. They're still here.
Yeah.
I think it's, $1.4 trillion in credit card debt right now that people are just buried with.
Yeah.
So with all of that, what advice would you have to other realtors, let's say, even small business owners? What advice would you have for them to be successful during all of these challenging times? What little tidbits might you offer to be successful?
Coming from me, I would say just stay in it. Stay in it. Don't give up. If you need refresher courses or mentorship, it's out there. I see a lot of people switch offices and they'll say stuff like, there was nobody there to help me. My office didn't do anything. And then I say, did you ask? Did you step up? Did you look for resources?
Yeah.
Because there are people in your office that will help you. Your broker, manager, they're ready to help you, but you just need to ask. And and there's YouTube, there's the whole social media, the internet, everything's out there, and you have examples of people who are successful. And copy, repeat, do whatever you need to do to get there, but just don't stop, don't quit, keep going. And I don't know, I think that's one of the things that Sienna was saying about helping others. When I see an opportunity in my office where somebody needs help or needs something, we're one of the first ones to say something. And we don't look at our business as a competition. And the reason we do a lot of meetings and networking, we want to be able to know people so we could help them and they could help us when that time comes. Because we all need each other. We're all in this together, and it doesn't just have to be our industry. It doesn't just have to be a realtor. It could be a lender. It could be an inspection company, anybody. What can we do to help you?
Exactly.
That's our motto, is what can we do to help you in any way, not just selling real estate. And so I say just stay in it, get out, talk to everybody, talk to your friends and family. The biggest thing they say is like, it's like dating. Nobody knows you exist. If you're just at your home behind your computer or in your home and not getting out and not communicating, nobody knows you exist. So the only way to be successful is to get out there, let people know what you do, and it'll happen. But you have to be intentional, like you were saying. You have to be willing to maybe get out of your comfort zone.
That's big,
and do the things that maybe you didn't think.
It's not a comfortable business.
It's not, and it's not an easy business. And you don't do this business for 35 years if you're a quitter. You have to be determined, and you have to be able to have that drive, I guess.
Absolutely.
Just that drive. And again, blessed that I have Sienna, to give me that extra push now that it's been 35 years. Because, it
keep it fresh, keep it going.
you have to have that. So.
And then it's nice having your experience, because being in the business, especially at this time, there's so much, it's a huge learning curve. So having someone who has stuck through so many ups and downs in the market, I know that I can do it and that it's not too difficult for me or anything. And like you were saying, it's all about serving people at the end of the day. I think that's why all of us are here, even just on this earth, to serve other people and to lift other people up. And because so many people are going through the hard times right now, they need us the most. This is the biggest opportunity for us to serve them, to help them. This is why we do this job, right? People who are struggling financially, it's the biggest opportunity for you to go out there and help people. And people who might not know what to do with their home in this current market, it's the perfect opportunity for us to educate them and help them know their options. So I think it's the reason that we do our job, is to help people that need knowledge, that are in times of trouble, and help give them some peace. And
I did want to add, if we call you or you call us or we knock at your door, it's to help. We're not here to sell you anything. It's to help, and I want people to look at that as an eye-opener for a lot of people who do sales, because a lot of times it's not just to sell, it's to serve. And so, if people looked at salespeople as people to serve, I think it would be a better place, because sometimes, realtors could get a bad stigma.
Oh, yeah.
And, right now with the whole NAR settlement and everything, it's unfortunate that people look at it that way, because the majority, there's people who, yes, it's just about, a paycheck.
Right.
But the people who stay in it, who really want to do this business, it's because they want to serve, and yes, the reward is you get paid in, what's the word I'm looking for? In reputation, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I'm looking for, because that's how you get paid. You get paid in knowing that you did a good job, you helped serve them, and the word hopefully will get out.
Yeah, they'll refer you to other people.
Yeah.
You got to use these
and
too.
that's how I see life too, right? With everything you do, you help others, eventually it'll come back when you need it. So I never worry about myself, my kids, that they will have somebody that will be looking over them too. I don't worry about that. I know we have God, and so, first and foremost, but I know my kids are taken care of. I know that they have a community of people that love them, and so I'm emotional.
Oh. Well, that's it goes back to what you value the most. We value our spirituality, our immediate family, whether it's our wife, our kids, or our spouse, and then our community.
Yeah.
And when we have the right mindset, as you both described so well, but feeding that mindset, so important, always looking for ways to get better, like you mentioned. We're going to get better in September when we go back.
So excited.
To United Wholesale Mortgage, and getting better there, getting our mind tighter, understanding what we can learn better to take back to our communities. That's why we do what we do. That's why we invest that time and money to go do that. And what you said, by being successful, don't quit. How many of our colleagues, we've been in this business a long time, how many of our colleagues have started out with us, times got tough, they left the business, they went and took other jobs, but you know what, we're still here.
Yeah.
We're all still here, and we're the ones that have positioned ourselves during these difficult times. We've stayed constant. So when people need help, who are they going to come to? The people that are in the business to help. So how wonderful this time has been. Power partners in real estate.
John, thank you. This is always awesome. I enjoy this because you really ask thought-provoking questions. You really make us think, and I think it's important that we share that and that we communicate that, to others, and keep doing what you're doing. I love it.
Thank you. We enjoy this, and we'll have to think of some other fun topics that we can do to educate the community together, and we'll just keep the ball rolling. It's a lot of fun. Well, thank you again, Rosie and Sienna Wagner, from the Wagner Real Estate Group at
Yes.
Realty One. Super excited to have you with us.
Thank you
It's
so
been
much.
awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.